G5 jet. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSIM Studios podcast live stream, episode number 133. Do apologize for the start of this episode. I've been having StreamYard's been crashing on my computer. I don't know if it's my computer or if it's StreamYard, but I switched to the Firebat, the all-white mini PC, and now it's been crashing every few days. So I might look into that here, but anyways, we'll see if I can get through. If I have more issues, I will switch computers. Actually, you know what? Give me just a second. Hang on. I might do that right now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to give it a try. Hang on. I'm going to switch computers. I have another computer right here. StreamYard's been messing up, so I do apologize. I'll edit this out. We'll get to the news here in just a second. Hang on. All right, can everybody hear me? Give me 1 second. Let me just try one of the. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear audio? Am I coming through? Sorry about that. Let me change my monitor too. All right, y'all got me? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Check out this. It's a cool shirt, huh? Okay. Wow. I think, man. So I gave my dad for Father's Day my Minis Forum mini PC, the UM773 with the Ryzen 7 7840HS CPU. I gave him the Minis Forum for Father's Day, right? Because I had two. And so I was like, well, I'll just keep the Firebat. It's the all-white one. And ever since I've switched to it, I've been having issues with StreamYard. It'll crash, it'll do this, it'll do that, weird stuff happening. It's like, great. So I think they're coming out with a new one. They just announced a new mini PC. I think I'm going to reach out to them and see if they can send me one of those to review. I'm going to review it, but also use it. Check this out. We'll get to the news. Give me 1 second. So look at this. They got this new mini PC with the AMD Ryzen R9 8945HS. I'm going to see if they can send that out to me. Badass little PC. I was waiting on for the new Snapdragon X Elite developer kit to get released, which is a mini PC. It's the only non-laptop that they put that CPU in. But I think with all haven't been seeing too many good reviews on these X Elite and CPUs, and I can't afford to have stuff crashing all the time. So I think I'm going to reach out when this is done to to Minis Forum to see to my rep over there to see if they can send me one to review. Anyways, thank you for joining us. And this is the eSIM Studios podcast. I'm going to trim all that stuff out. eSIM Studios podcast live stream episode number 133. Do appreciate everybody joining me for a late episode. Try to make it quick. I got stuff to do, as I'm sure y'all do as well. There is some news though, right? So we got some news, Pixel news, iPhone news, Samsung news, right? Check this out. So now all my tabs are gone that I had ready for the show. So we're gonna have to do this on the fly. So let's do this. You know what? Let's go. I have it on my site. if you go to esimstudios.app, that's where we got all the late breaking news, right? If you catch this, which might not be a bad idea, this may be a throwaway episode, but if you catch an in-between towards the end, you can always catch the replay here on YouTube. Trust and believe I'm going to edit out the first part and keep all the good stuff. But you can also listen to us on the go, right? So whether you're running errands around town, doing chores in the house, go to any podcast platform, wherever you get your podcast at, simply search eSIM Studios, and we will be there. We're on Apple Podcasts, the application Pocket Casts, iHeartRadio Music, Amazon Music, all that good stuff. So you can always listen to us on the podcast as well. Now, let's go to esimstudios.app, right? And I got some news there that we'll get into real quick. Everybody hanging in there. I do apologize. Normally I try to run a clean and smooth show, and look, this was not it. Today's not my day. Everything crashed right when I hit live, so I do apologize about that. But let's get into the news, right? So did everybody see this? Did everybody see this Pixel? This Pixel that was basically... So as you know, when these companies get ready to launch a device, they have a ton of prototypes. I remember I told this story, and maybe I could find it when this is done. OnePlus, ironically enough, I got OnePlus on my shirt. I remember seeing a video, this is a long time ago, maybe 6-7 years ago, I think when the OnePlus 7 was coming out, or 6T, something like that. It was a YouTube video behind the scenes. And I don't think it was on their channel. I think it was a reviewer. Went to OnePlus headquarters in Shenzhen, in China, and they laid out all these OnePlus 7s. And I was like, holy crap, there's probably 20 of them. Each one had some had a drastic design change. Some had very minor and subtle changes. But each and every one of them was different. And one of those lucky 20 phones was going to be the OnePlus 7. Now, normally you don't get to see these prototypes, right? It's pretty rare. Well, today, or should I say last night or early this morning, we got some rare photos. Now, I have more than just this one. This is the Google. This is not the Pixel Fold 2 prototype. This is the Pixel Fold 1, the OG Pixel Fold. This is the prototype. So, now, what they do with these prototypes, they make maybe, 5, 10, 15, 20 devices with all different variations. And they'll manufacture them and start testing them. Like, they'll start using them, they'll pass them out in the boardroom amongst the high-level executives in the Pixel division. They'll just start using them. And, I like this, no, I don't like that one, or this one works well, this one doesn't. And through process of elimination, within a few months, they narrow it down from 20 to 15, from 15 to 10, 10 to 5, from 5 to 3, from 3 to 2, 2 to 1. You get the idea, right? But it's rare that we get to actually see them. And this was an original prototype device that was obviously didn't make the cut. But it has the back of the Pixel 6 series, right? So it looks just like a Pixel 6 Pro basically on the back. It has the metal bar, the glass going all the way across. Now it does look like they put a skin on it because the top part is carbon fiber. The bottom part is basically just a filler, right? Now, for those of y'all that do not know, if you're wondering where the G emblem is, like where they normally put the G logo, this is Google's prototype emblem. So instead of putting a G on the back of a prototype, which would obviously give it away. Now, if we saw this in the wild or saw it, on a photo like it is here or in person somehow and saw this, you basically figure it out. Well, it looks like a Pixel, right? Well, there's no G logo on there, so they can technically say, oh, it's not a Pixel. But that right there, that little emblem you see on the back of this OG Pixel Fold is their prototype emblem. I've seen a couple other prototype Pixel devices, and they all have that same logo on the back. So they also made some changes because this one had a really, really bad modem in it. So there's a person on XDA. Now, I don't know if this was sold on the aftermarket, the black market. I don't know how this was acquired. Was it stolen? I have no idea. Somebody on XDA posted pictures of this. Say, hey, look what I got. Now, they didn't say how they got it. But it is very interesting, right? Could have been. So the name internally for this was Pipit, Pipit, P-I-P-I-T, Pipit. I don't know. Who knows? It doesn't matter anymore. But check this out. So the internals would have been the exact same. For some odd reason, this had a modem in it that had a bunch of issues. So I'm glad they did not go with this one, because the one that they actually launched had a different modem in it. I think it was a newer upgraded modem. I believe they changed the modem at the very last second in these devices. But look at this. I mean, it looks like a Pixel Fold. It does, however, the dimensions look different. And as I mentioned, when they have prototypes, they're different sizes, they're different shapes, they're different aspect ratios. They're all different. The OG Pixel, obviously shorter and fatter, right? This one almost resembles the same aspect ratio of what we're about to see, Pixel Fold 2. It's not officially named that, but that's what I call it, right? Easier for me to remember. But it has a taller build, aspect ratio, design language, right? Now, this thing looks beat up because these photos were really, really bad. Very fuzzy, very grainy. Now, I threw some AI in here and tried to edit these and clean up these photos as best as I could. That's why when you look at this photo, it looks like gibberish on there. You could actually read it before I edited everything. Very fuzzy, and this is the best I could get these photos. However, it does look like whoever had this thing, man, beat the hell out of it. It does have a dent here at the very top. Got all sorts of scrapes and scratches on it. So this thing's been through hell and back. And I want to know, the screen looks all well, I shouldn't say the screen. The inside screen. They don't have a photo of the inside screen. They just have a photo of the outer display right here and right here. But this big dent up top, I mean, man, whoever had this wasn't certainly used it with no case on it, right? Now, I threw pictures of the new Pixel Fold 2 just to show everybody how far we've come, right? Now, this new design that we're about to see is really grown on me. Like, when I first saw these photos, I just did not like it, period, right? And I think it has to do with the camera setup, but it appears to be a really, really nice device. So there's a live photo image of the Pixel Fold 2 that Android Authority got a hold of, and here's the CAD design. So looks very nice, far different from this OG Pixel Fold prototype that we see here, right? So if you want to read that, I got some information on there that I typed up here, but interesting to see. Again, all that information is on esimstudios.app. I also linked the article in the description box of this video. Now, we got more pictures of these new foldables from Samsung. Speaking of foldables, you know what? If you want to watch our live stream and you don't have YouTube Premium, I believe the workaround. So if you want to watch our live stream, go to our app, esimstudios.app, go to eSIM Studios Live, and it'll have I'm logged in here with an account that does not have YouTube Premium. So I'm basically testing this stream to see if there's any commercials, and I haven't seen any or any advertisements. So if you want to watch presumably watch this with no commercials. If you do not have YouTube Premium, go to esimstudios.app, scroll down to the live section, and I'll send out notifications whenever I go live. So make sure you install the eSIM Studios app on your phone, tablet, desktop, whatever you got, and you'll get notified with whenever we go live or have any new drawings for giveaways, right? Oh, sweet. You have me added on all platforms. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I know that's the downside of being on so many platforms, is a day like today where I kind of get a late start. I don't have enough time to dedicate to every single platform. So I do what's important. Instagram page is actually pretty popular. I have a ton of followers there. YouTube is the main hub, so that's what I'm always going to focus on, number one. But I'm trying to get our Twitter up and running, or our X account up and running. Actually, I'm live streaming on X right now. And Facebook, I'm not really big into, but we're on there as well. But I do appreciate it. Thank you, Brian. And don't forget our giveaways, right? I think there's one day left. We'll get into the Samsung stuff, but hang on. Check this out. See? What do you know? Add to home screen? Yes, please. Now, this is on a new computer, or my laptop, right? So I'm going to install it just like that. Check this out. Go to esimstudios.app, scroll down to giveaway. Ooh, 30 hours left. So if you have not signed in, I'm giving away a $25 Amazon gift card. 30 hours left, just over one day. Let's go back to this Android news. Back to this Samsung news. So we got colors. We got new colors. There's going to be a pink model now. It seems like for a while these companies had pink or pinkish colors, girl colors, in their repertoire, in their lineup. But then it seemed like for the last couple of years there really wasn't a pink, at least in the Android world. And now you're seeing Pixel coming out with a pink phone. Samsung's coming out with a pink phone. And I think Samsung's going to carry that over to the S25 series, right? So we got a new look. These are new photos of the Z Flip 6 and Fold 6, right? So here's the Flip 6. No, nothing that surprising. Let me show you. Here's the new pink color. Pretty bright in pink. And that pink color will be available on the Flip 6 as well. So minus the colors coming out, no big news. Now, I believe there is actually, you know what, there is some news here. It may be a little correction, maybe I should say. It appears that the Flip 6, I've told everybody it's going to come with 12 gigs of RAM, right? It might come with a base model. So just the plain Flip 6 might have 8 gigs and 256 gigs of storage. And then the 12 gig variant would be an upgradable version. I believe, I don't know for sure. I thought they were going to do 12 gigs of RAM all across the board on all variants. That's what they should do. These phones they're raising the prices again. These phones are mad expensive. If the Flip 6 traditionally has been $1,000, if they're raising it to $1,100, damn it, I need you to put 12 gigs of RAM in all of the devices, Samsung. I'm not gonna say you're screwing us, but you're raising the prices anyways, right? So it's like, at least give me that extra RAM. But if you do upgrade through Samsung, typically they always give you a storage bump or a storage upgrade as well if you upgrade early or buy it early. So most of y'all that plan on doing that, like myself, really shouldn't have any worries. But if you plan on buying this 3, 4, 5 months down the road, please be mindful that the base model might come with 8 gigs of RAM. But make sure you subscribe to eSIM Studios. We're going to live stream. I'm going to try to live stream the whole Unpacked event, although I don't know. I might get a copyright strike, but nonetheless, whenever it's over, I can guarantee you when it's over, come over to eSIM Studios. We'll discuss all the new foldables, the new watches, the new earbuds, and see if it's worth upgrading or not. All right. Now, here's interesting news, right? Qualcomm. Good old Qualcomm. So, you would think, here's the deal with Android, right? So, the flagship, when it comes to updates, the flagship models seem like they're competing against who manufacturers are competing against who can provide the consumer the largest update schedule, right? Oh, we're going to do 5 years. No, we're going to do 6 years. And Google, oh, 7. But what about Motorola, right? What about OnePlus? What about nothing? What about the phone manufacturers that make a good product, but necessarily don't have the manpower and or resources, i.e. money and employees, to stay on top of monthly Android updates? It takes a lot. Like, it's easy for us. All we do is we get a notification. Oh, cool, update, boom. But behind the scenes, each manufacturer, like Samsung, maybe not as big as Samsung, but like the Google division, they have dozens of developers. All they do is work on Pixel updates, meaning the next coming update. And then certain Pixel devices have a team of developers. So like the Pixel 7a will have a group of 12 developers, and that's all they focus on. Pixel 7a and the updates. So, and there's salaries, there's bonuses. Like, it's a very, very overlooked aspect of the mobile phone world, right? Updates. So you would think Google produces Android, right? So they should probably get on top of getting these updates in order. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the flagship models, the flagship manufacturers, you'll essentially get an update on your Android device every single month. Samsung, Google. Now, the smaller ones who don't have as many resources as I just went into typically update their device once every 2 months, simply because that's all they can do, right? So you would think Google would get behind and try to figure something out to make sure every Android phone that's qualified to be updated, right? I'm not talking about a 10-year-old Android device. I'm talking like probably within 5 years old. Every Android device, no matter where you are in the world, should be updated once a month to the latest, very latest security patch. I'm not talking about OnePlus, not OnePlus. I'm not talking about Motorola, where they're always 2, 3, 4 months behind. No, that's not going to cut it nowadays. That could cost you a security breach, right? If your security patch is not up to date, there's some very, very vulnerable devices out here that could be covered if people on the other end were doing their job. I say all that to say this. Google has tried. I'm not trying to make it look like Google just threw their hands up and said, oh, y'all are on your own. They've tried. And here's the issue. It lies within the code of the device, in the code of what's powering the device. It's in the code of the kernel. And where does that lie? Right on smack dab on the CPU, right? Now, as you know, there's MediaTek, there's Google now with their Tensor, there's Samsung Exynos, and there's Qualcomm. So I believe, I don't have the numbers, and shame on me, I should have looked this up before I hit live. I believe Qualcomm has the highest number of Android devices in the world, meaning how many Android phones totaled up in the world have Qualcomm Snapdragon CPUs in them, no matter if it's flagship, budget, whatever. I'm pretty sure, I'm like 95% sure, Qualcomm Snapdragon has the most number of Android devices around the world. So they are the ones that's going to take this by the horns. So Qualcomm is going to try and fix the Android update mess. Thank you, Jesus. Google tried, but look, they can't force. They can, pull some strings and twist their arm, behind your back, but it's hard for them to force something when they're not the ones in charge of anything. I mean, I shouldn't say anything, in charge of getting the updates on order. And again, that lies within the code, within the CPU. It's very intricate, very detailed system that probably you would get bored by. So I'm not going to get into it, but just know this: it does lie within the code. It does lie within the CPU. It does lie within the kernel source, right? So Qualcomm is going to try and make a change. So according to Chris Patrick, he's the senior vice president. So very high up on the list. Senior vice president and general manager of handsets at Qualcomm. Again, all these companies have all sorts of divisions. Like I said, there's a division at Pixel. All they do is focus on one device, right? They don't look at the new Pixels coming out. They don't look at the Pixel tablet or develop new framework for the Pixel Fold 2. No. These companies have very specific divisions. And this appears to be very important. So he's senior vice president, general manager of handsets at Qualcomm. The company's working behind the scenes to make it easier for OEMs to keep all their phones up to date, right? So here's what he's quoted as saying. He said it's a very complicated. He said it's very complicated for a customer, meaning us, and an OEM to get security updates, and to get Android version updates, and then to get it to every end user. It's actually very expensive and very complicated. One of the things we've been working on for the past several years with Google and with the OEMs is to change the structure of the line of code, to kind of change the machinery for how we do these updates. You'll see that later on this year. We'll make some announcements about some of the changes we've made to facilitate this and to help the whole ecosystem keep Android phones closer to up to date. So it sounds like he didn't expand, obviously, but it sounds like they're working on something. They're working on something behind the scenes. Now, what does he mean by we're going to make an announcement later this year? At the end of every single year, Qualcomm holds their summit, which basically is like how Samsung's going to launch the foldables at the Unpacked event here. It's a big unveiling. Well, this is at the end of the year is Qualcomm's big unveiling. And what do they unveil? Their next lineup of flagship and mid-range, all their CPUs that they're going to put out on the market for the upcoming year. So at the end of this year, I believe it's in December, they'll have this big event in Hawaii, and they're going to release and announce all these cool CPUs, products, all this stuff for next year, 2025. It sounds like one of the things they're going to announce is some new structure, some new plan to fix all these updates, right? It is a mess. It's a big mess. And that's, if you ask a random Android lover, right, or a random Android user, right, not like my dad, he probably, somebody that has some sort of technical intelligence or knowledge, if you ask them what's one of the biggest cons, one of the biggest negatives about Android, and as a whole, right, not your specific phone, well, it could be your specific phone, but I think the large majority of answers you would get would be updates, right? I have a big selection of phones, and it's a mess. It is a mess. I have some phones that are great with updates and some phones that are behind. Yeah, it's just a mess. And the fact that this Google Play system update, Google needs to work on this because they don't notify you when an update is available. Unlike your phone software, that'll let you know, hey, you have an update. The Google Play system update, not as important as a software update, but some would argue it is. They don't even notify you when there's an update. And if you have not checked in a few months, I ask you, please check. Go to your settings application, hit the search icon, and simply type in Google Play system update. I guarantee at least some of y'all have an update or two waiting for you. Google needs to get a hold of that as well. So, and that's not Qualcomm's. They're not getting involved with that. That's a Google specific topic that they need to get a hold of. But that's another issue that I have that we can get into later. So as soon as we figure out what their plan is, we will let you know. So please stay tuned. But good news is they're working on it, right? I thought this would never change. I've been hoping and praying for so long that this would get fixed. I just gave up on it. I haven't even thought about. Well, I've thought about it, but I gave up on it a couple years ago. I was like, this is never gonna get fixed. It's BS. And thank you, Qualcomm. So I got that article there. Check this out real quick. We'll get to the iPhone news. Nothing confirmed that the new CMF phone that's going to be out on... we got more news. July the 8th. Mark your calendars. Because I think you're... this phone... Look, some might not like the way it looks. I get it. But you can throw a case on it. This is going to be a phone that... If you need a backup phone... to just throw in your closet, right? Maybe you don't have insurance on your device and you don't want to, be out of a device for a couple days. If you break your phone, you do need it. Everybody needs a backup phone. This would be a great backup phone. This would be a great phone for a child. Great phone for elderly. Great phone for you just to have fun on and play around with. Why do I say that? Because the specs look pretty damn good. And here's the best part. It's going to be cheap. Really, really cheap. I think like $200, $240 for a brand new phone. Now, it almost has the identical specs as my Nothing Phone 2A. So Nothing just confirmed this CMF Phone 1 is going to have the Dimensity 7300. Now, I was trying to dig into, is it the 7300 Pro? Or is it just the base 7300? I could not get any clarity, so that's kind of still, up for questioning, so to speak. But nonetheless, it is not a shabby look. It's a year, 18 months old, but the MediaTek CPU that I have in this Nothing Phone 2A, freaking badass. Freaking badass. I was blown away when I did not expect it to perform this well. It's buttery smooth. It's super duper fast. Now, I don't play games, but I am a heavy multitasker. 20-25 apps open in the background. Handled it with no problems, right? So here's some of the specs it's going to have that we got confirmed. Oh, and you can win one too. So I'm going to tell you how to do that. How to enter. 7300 Dimensity MediaTek CPU. It's going to have Bluetooth 5.3, Wi-Fi 6, 5G. Should be noted the phone also come with up to 8 gigs. Now, the base model is going to have 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. However, the upgraded model is going to have 8 gigs of RAM, 256 and 512, I believe. I might be surprised if they go 512, but they'll definitely have 256. Now, as you can tell in the photo, it's going to have 8 gigs of RAM plus 8 gigs of virtual RAM. I don't know what UFS storage it has. I'm assuming it's not going to be the latest and greatest. So just how well that virtual RAM works, we'll have to wait and see. But the virtual RAM works phenomenal on my 2A, so my Nothing Phone 2A. So I'm actually really, really confident in this Nothing Phone, in this CMF Phone 1, as far as when people get it, the reviews. I think people are going to love this phone. Now, again, you may not love the looks, but Nothing is cooking up something very, very special over there. They're working with, I don't know what they got going on, but these phones are an absolute joy to use. Every time I pick up one of my Nothing phones, I don't want to put it down, and I'm not even just saying like that's the honest truth. I love using them. They're just phenomenal devices. So that's why I have confidence in Nothing and Carl Pei, CEO, owner, founder of Nothing, and presumably CMF. That's why I have confidence in them, right? Of course, we'll have to wait and see. But look, it's right around the corner, July 8th. I don't know. Here's one question. I don't know if it's going to be available for the US. Now, if it's not that big of a deal, because if you really want one, you can get one, right? So I'm trying to see. I reached out to see if, and probably wouldn't tell me right now, but if it's not available in the United States, are they going to make it available in the United States under their quote-unquote developer program, which is how I got these two Nothing phones. And they just do that just so they can still sell them, right? So officially it's not for sale in the US, but you can still buy one if you want one. And there's nothing developer about it. It has the same software as everybody else gets in the world. There's no special software that's on there that crashes, no bugs, nothing. It's the official build of the operating system. Now, if they don't sell them, period, no sales, no official sales, and no developer options and or purchase options, eBay is probably going to be your best bet. But we'll find out, right? So here in about a week, we'll know if it's for sale in the US. If it is, where can you get it? Obviously, maybe Nothing's website, but shit, they may put it on Amazon. I have no idea, but we'll find out. And I'm going to try to get a hold of one, and I'll let y'all go through that process with me to see how to buy it, where to buy it, and how much they are, right? So it's going to have a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display. I found out today it is going to have LTPO. It is Full HD Plus, right? 120 hertz refresh rate, 2000 nits peak brightness, 128 gigs of expandable storage. Whoa. 50 megapixel rear camera sensor, 16 megapixel selfie camera, 5000 mAh battery, 33 fast watch charging, and Android 14. Now, I don't know what 16,000 Indian rupees are, but let's find out. And then there's a little video down here. Hang on a second. Let me turn this down. Hey, what's going on, bro? Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave here shortly, but damn, I went way over my time. But what else do we get into? So that's the CMF phone. Oh, you know what? They're giving away 9 free CMF phone ones. 9. Now, I'm gonna link. Y'all can't hear it. Damn it. Oh, I didn't share the audio. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I had shared the audio. That's my bad. Okay, so I'm not going to restart it because I'm short on time. But if you want to win one, you got to go to Jerry Rig Everything, his Instagram page. And you have to follow Jerry Rig Everything on Instagram. You have to follow CMF on Instagram. And you have to put in hashtag CMF phone 1. I'm gonna link his Instagram. You know what? Okay, when I end this video, come back in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna end this live. My computer system's all jacked up. I would add the link on the fly, but anyways, come back in about 5 minutes after I finish this. Immediately when I hit end, I'm gonna add the link to this video that I was gonna show y'all. And he tells you all you gotta do is follow him, follow CMF, and you have to put hashtag in the comments, CMF phone 1, and then I think share the post into your reels. And they're giving away 9 CMF phone 1s. So yeah, come back here in just about 5 minutes after I end this, and let me show you what Apple's got going on. So Apple is actually, we reported that their removable batteries, their plan to have removable batteries looks like a real deal. I did get some pushback on that video that I put out a couple days ago, and it's a real deal. Like, the EU is forcing them to do this. However, your iPhone here in the US, I think they're going to be geo-specific, right? So if you live in the EU and they sell iPhones to the EU, I think those are going to have removable backs and or batteries, and other parts of the world are not going to have a removable back, right? You can do it at Nothing Phone website. Here, watch this. I'm going to link this. Where is it? Right here. So go to his page on Instagram, and then you have to, in this video, you got to hashtag CMF phone 1. You have to follow him and follow CMF, and then share the reel, right? Copy link address. Where is my chat? That's the Instagram post that you specifically need to comment, hashtag CMF phone 1, follow him, follow CMF, and then share it. I'm going to put this in my video description below here, so everybody can just click a link to. I don't know if you can access it through the chat. I'm doing it right now. I'm adding the link to the video description right now as we speak. Let's see here. When CMF phone 1. All right. Well, today's been a mess. I apologize. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Yeah, hey, you have a throwaway episode every now and then, and this appears to be one of them, but it is what it is. Okay, so I just put the link in the video description as well. So it's in the chat and in the video description below. If you don't see it, you probably have to refresh your page or what have you. But let me finish this so I can get out of here. Apple is not only going to modify the back of their phones to let you, the consumer, access the battery, right? They're also going to make it easier. Better connectivity between iPhone and external third-party displays. Samsung is great. You can get, if you have a USB Type-C cable, a proper cable, not some rinky-dink one where it slow charges your phone. No, I'm talking about like a good one that, you know, costs a pretty penny, that supports like Thunderbolt 4 speeds and supports display out, basically. I can plug that in. I can plug my Samsung phone basically into any external monitor. Boom. I can run DeX, right? Apple, on the other hand, not so much. So they're a little behind when it comes to peripherals and very stingy on what external monitor they want you to use the iPhone on, right? They want you to use that Apple Retina display or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, but that's mad expensive, right? What if you have like a $70 monitor, right? Or what if you have one of these? Look. What if you got this? What if you have an external display looking like this, right? Can you plug your iPhone into this and get it running? Nope. Will you be able to in the future? Yep. So Samsung, I can basically plug it into anything. It'll run DeX, right? Great tool that's underutilized by many people, many Samsung users, right? How's it going, sir? Appreciate you joining us today. I'm just about to end it, but I was going to say you might want to catch the replay. However, show's been a mess, so hang in there with me. I'll promise you a really good show tomorrow, but thank you for joining us. So Apple, now this is going to be an iOS 18, right? So there will be better connectivity when it comes to third-party, meaning non-Apple displays, right? Or external displays. Which is really, really, really good news especially for Apple consumers. And it's basically a no-brainer from the rest of the world, especially the Android world. So, duh, what took you so long? So I just wanted to put that in, and the article is there. So if you want to read all the details, please do at esimstudios.app. It says by late 2024 is when you can expect it. So whenever your iOS update gets in, it'll be ready to go, right? So anyways, it's there if you want to check it out. So thank you for joining us today. Again, I really apologize for the mishap. I'm going to turn this off, and it's going to be a long night, so I got to go through all this, figure out why it's crashing, but that's my issue, not yours. But anyways, thank you for joining us. Remember, go to the giveaway, esimstudios.app giveaway. There's 30 hours left, and you can be anywhere in the world, right? Amazon operates anywhere in the world. If you win it, I will send you a $25 Amazon e-gift card, completely free. No, you don't have to do anything, really. Just sign up for the drawing, and away we go. We do drawings once a week here. Right, actually more, but anyways, I gotta roll. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a safe and enjoyable Saturday afternoon and or evening. And as always, I will see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow. Peace out.